the collision shape of future.
In recent years, the collision of technological disruption and political transformation, set against the background of profound demographic change, has produced a world marked by volatility as much as by opportunity. Nowhere is this convergence more visible than in the debates surrounding AI-driven public policy, a domain where algorithmic systems increasingly influence, guide, and in some contexts, quietly shape democratic decision-making.
As aging populations strain welfare systems and younger generations embrace digital life at breakneck speed, governments turn to artificial intelligence to maintain efficiency, anticipate needs, and allocate scarce resources. Yet this fusion, if left unchecked, risks undermining the very democratic values it seeks to protect. To my mind, the core tension stems from a simple but unsettling truth. Technological efficiency and democratic deliberation do not always pull in the same direction.
Predictive algorithms can, for instance, optimize healthcare spending for aging populations, but in doing so, they might unintentionally reinforce biases about which groups are worth investing in. On the other side of the ledger, political actors increasingly exploit demographic divides through targeted digital campaigns, harnessing AI to tailor persuasive messages with surgical precision. In such a landscape, the boundary between civic engagement and digital manipulation becomes dangerously thin.
However, and this is where I see a genuine possibility for progress, the convergence of these forces need not erode democracy. It can, if boldly reimagined, revitalize it. The challenge is not merely to regulate technology, nor simply to adapt political structures, but to construct a system in which both are mutually reinforcing. A compelling case in point is the emergence of AI-assisted participatory governance, a model implemented tentatively in a handful of forward-thinking cities. Here, artificial intelligence synthesizes vast quantities of demographic, social, and economic data to produce clear, accessible summaries of public concerns.
Citizens, regardless of age or background, are then invited to deliberate on proposals that reflect their shared priorities rather than their demographic divisions. In theory, this approach mitigates the distortions created by targeted micropolitics and counters the disenfranchisement often felt by older or less digitally literate citizens. And yet, bold action is required to make such a system both trustworthy and sustainable. If algorithms are to play an explicit role in shaping political choices, they must be transparent, auditable, and subject to democratic oversight.
To this end, I propose the creation of public algorithmic trusts, or PATs, independent, publicly governed institutions tasked with managing and monitoring all AI systems used in political decision-making. Much like central banks safeguard monetary stability, PATs would safeguard civic integrity. Under this model, governments could deploy AI tools to anticipate demographic needs, improve social services, or streamline public administration, but only through algorithms that have been openly inspected, stress-tested for bias, and approved by citizen assemblies.
Such an approach would not eliminate risk, but it would drastically reduce the likelihood of covert manipulation, discriminatory outcomes, or the silent erosion of public trust. Furthermore, PATS would fund nationwide digital literacy initiatives, ensuring that citizens of all ages, not only the tech-savvy young, can meaningfully participate in a political system increasingly mediated by digital tools. Given the widening generational gap in technological fluency, this alone may determine whether democracy remains inclusive or becomes subtly exclusionary.
In the long term, the convergence of technology, politics, and demography will continue to reshape societies in ways that are both disconcerting and promising. It would be naive to believe we can halt technological disruption, and even more naive to imagine that demographic pressures will ease of their own accord. What we can do, however, is design institutions capable of balancing innovation with democratic resilience. If we succeed, the meeting point of these disruptive forces will not be a site of crisis, but a cradle of renewal, a place where data serves citizens rather than divides them, and where democracy evolves not in spite of technology, but because of it.
Thank you for listening to English Audio Lounge. We hope you have enjoyed it. Stay tuned for more audio stories and video classes to improve your English.